Hey guys, it's Paradise, and do you want to know some of the new things you can do in Wilds? Well, with the open beta demo happening, we thought it would be great to have some quick and handy weapon guides for you to help make the journey a little easier. With things like what they do, how to use them, and everything you need to know to get started with these weapons in Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll be making one for each of the different weapons, so let us know what you think of the new moves and which weapon we should jump to next. Drop a like below if you find this helpful and subscribe for more Monster Hunter Wilds every day. In this video, we'll be covering the Gunlance, and it's already making an explosive entry with some incredible changes. Do explosions, perfect guards, and dumping a ton of shells sound good to you? Well, now is the perfect time to get up to speed on the boomstick. It's received some massive buffs and new moves that will have you dominating in the hunt, and from early player impressions, this weapon has had dramatic improvements to its performance compared to previous iterations. This means it will likely rise up the ranks in popularity. While not something that is super flashy, shelling in Wilds has had dramatic changes, allowing you to scale and increase their damage from different sources. One of the easiest ways to test this is to whack on the hunting horn as your secondary, and then buff yourself with an attack up song. From this, you will see an increase to the damage in your shelling. Something that really slowed down the shelling play in previous games was that shelling consumed your sharpness heavily, meaning you would quickly burn through it. Now in Wilds, that sharpness loss has been removed, allowing you to go crazy with shelling and weave it into your combos without fear of going into yellow instantly. Shells have also retained their characteristics of ignoring hit zones, meaning you're able to hit monsters wherever you would like, rather than having to go for something like the head or tail for extra damage. On top of this, some of the Gunlance moves have fire built in, with shelling being one of them. Interestingly, in Wilds, this allows you to set the environment on fire with them too. It's good to note, while shelling, you can move in a direction, making it easier to reposition and combo into other moves. Just press a direction while shelling to do this. Your charge shelling can also be done by holding down circle until the amount of shells you want has been loaded. This increases damage and is one of the ways to quickly fill your Wyvern fire gauge. Shielding has also got some improvements due to the new perfect guard system. That means you're able to time your perfect guards with a monster attack to reduce damage, sharpness, and stamina loss. Perfect guarding is fairly quick to pull off and can be done during most combos, making it a very powerful tool to learn on Gunlance. This isn't all though. There are various moves that can do guard points and follow-ups that can be executed out of perfect guards too, so let's dive into some of these. A massive new addition, and one that will make your Gunlance gameplay even more fun, is the ability to perfect guard while reloading. Reloading can be done in a variety of ways, but most commonly by pressing R2 and circle at the same time. You can also do a quick reload during combos that will only refill your shells. A full reload when not comboing though will refill your shells and stake, and an empty magazine reload as well, which happens when you run out of shells. You have to time it so that the shield is presented while you do the reload, but this can also proc perfect guards, reducing the damage taken and allowing for follow-ups such as the overhead slam. This means you can do the follow-up combo of hitting a perfect guard and then pressing triangle to overhead slam, which then allows you to follow up with a burst fire by pressing circle. Perfect guards and guarding in general will also build up the power clash meter on the monster, allowing for a free topple and extra follow-ups. The power clash will shoot all of your shells and then let you do the moving wide sweep or Wyvern fire. A new tool for repositioning in Wilds is to perform a moving wide sweep. The moving wide sweep is awesome because it has various powerful follow-ups, and the easy way to do this is to shell and press triangle and a direction. The Wormstake Full Blast is a new addition to Wilds and is sure to be a fan favorite, and this can be performed after wide sweeps, and this is basically a wide sweeping arcing blast attack. Here are some of the go-to combos that lead into it. You have lunging thrust by pressing forwards and triangle into overhead slam with triangle and circle together, and then another press of triangle to do the wide sweep, which will allow you to do the Wormstake Full Blast by pressing triangle and circle, which can be ended with multi-Wormstake Full Blast by pressing circle or triangle. Another quick combo option you have is to shell via the circle button, then use the directional wide sweep, which can be followed up with a Wormstake Full Blast. Multi-Wormstake has some hidden mechanics though, and it's easy to miss, but it actually ends with a guard point, meaning you can remain aggressive while using this move. Also, because it expends all of your shells, it will allow you to do a reload by pressing any button during the move, letting you get a full reload quickly. Wyvern Fire is one of the coolest moves of the Gunlance's arsenal though, and it's been updated with some changes that make it a bit more viable in standard combat. You're now able to store 2 Wyvern Fire charges, and the charge can be recovered by attacking. Charge shelling also recovers a lot of charge for some quick time investment. Wyvern Fire now has longer reach as well, and 2 types of it that can be performed. The first is the usual standard charge that can be pressed with R2, triangle, and circle. The second is a quick one that's done after certain actions, with the most common being after a perfect guard or the multi-full burst. The Gunlance's focus strike though is called Drake Orga, and this is a thrusting attack that turns your Gunlance into a drill. You can do this by holding L2 and pressing R1, and this will do continuous damage to a wound and end with a worm stake cannon. Drake Orga can also be made longer or shorter by player input, and connecting it with a wound will extend the time of the move, while you can press R1 to end it more quickly and start the worm stake cannon early. Something cool that you can do is jumping smash, as this will quickly reload all of your shells. This in previous games was hard to pull off because it required jumping, but now because of the sacred you can quickly mount up and jump off to do it easily. And there's also the jumping thrust that you can do too. The mount finisher of the Gunlance is awesome, as it drills the monster and then triggers a topple with a worm stake that it leaves behind. So definitely give this a try where you can, and remember, jumping attacks off your sacred make getting mounts super easy. The Gunlance has received some amazing changes, there's no doubt about that, and it now means that Gunlance players are able to freely combo and spend their gauges. In the right hands of someone that knows how to perfect guard and punish monsters, the gameplay clips are going to be epic. We can't wait to see what the full game has in store for us, and what different types of shelling there are and skills relating to it. And tell us if you're thinking about maining the Gunlance in Monster Hunter Wilds. Drop a like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe though for more Monster Hunter videos coming very, very soon.